One person, 6 platforms, 30 pieces of content a week, no team. That's not a flex, that's a workflow. And here's the thing. I chose marketing manager as the first role in this series because it's something that I'm not well versed in. Marketing has always seemed kind of magic to me. So I want to learn through this process right alongside with you. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through every agent that makes this possible. Let me show you how it works. So if you work in marketing, this might be what your week looks like. You've got campaign briefs that need writing, blog posts, LinkedIn posts, different ones because your LinkedIn audience is not your email list. Speaking of email, you've got a newsletter going out on Thursday, and Instagram, and Facebook. And somewhere in between all of that, you're supposed to be tracking what your competitors are doing, monitoring your keyword rankings, and figuring out why your last campaign underperformed. That's not a job. That's 5 jobs wearing a trench coat. I deal with this myself, just for content instead of marketing. I work a regular 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then basically every afternoon I've been working on getting everything set up. Scripts, videos, Substack, LinkedIn. The initial push is really the toughest part, and that's with AI helping me. Imagine doing all of that manually as a marketing manager with no budget and no specialists. The old answer was hire a team. One person for SEO, one person for social, a copywriter, a strategist. That works if you have the budget for it. Most of us don't. So instead, you either burn out trying to do all of that yourself, or you pick and choose what gets done, and the rest falls through the cracks. I've built a workflow that handles the volume problem, 5 agents, 1 pipeline, and here's how it works. Now, before we get into the agents, I want to make sure that we're thinking about this the right way. And honestly, the hard part is that most people don't fully understand AI yet, which is completely acceptable. There's a lot of misinformation and buzzwords out there causing confusion. So here's how I think about it. A chatbot is reactive. You ask it, it answers. 1 prompt, 1 output, done. An agent is different. An agent has a job description, a set of tools it can use, and it knows what to do with its output, either deliver it to you or hand it off to the next agent in the chain. Think of it like a small team where everyone has one very specific role. The researcher doesn't write copy. The copywriter doesn't do SEO. The scheduler doesn't do strategy. Each one does their thing well, passes the work down the line, and the whole thing moves without you managing every step. Adam Savage from Mythbusters, his tested series on YouTube is great. Go watch it. He talks about how creativity is really just problem solving every day. And that's exactly how I started building agents. Whatever issue I had, whatever I needed help with, the research, images, whatever, I just asked, can I create an agent that handles this? And if the answer was yes, I built it and started tasking it with that work. One problem at a time. That's the mental model. Not one AI doing everything, but a chain of focused agents, each one an expert at exactly one job. Agent 1 is your researcher. Its only job is to watch. Every week, it hits your competitors' websites, their social channels, their meta ad library, LinkedIn posts, wherever they're publishing. It looks at what's going on, what's getting engagement, and what topics they keep returning to. And it produces one thing, a competitive intelligence brief, structured document. What did competitor A publish this week? What got traction? What are they not talking about that you could own? Now, I want to be real about something here. I admire people out there for the quality of work that they're doing. Alex Hormozy has been a really big inspiration to me. I love that he's an all gas, no brakes kind of guy, but he's also very strategic. Even with all that strategy, he just generates a ton of content and applies it to basically every project he does. But I think it's important to stay in your own lane and find your own voice. Take hints, take notes, do your research, look at what features someone else might have and see what you can adapt to your own situation, but create what you want to create. Don't just try to make a better version of what someone else has. That's what this agent does well. It gives you the intel without the temptation to just copy. The brief goes into the pipeline, agent 1 is done. It doesn't write, it doesn't strategize, it just hands off clean intel. Agent 2 gets that competitive intel and combines it with one more thing, your brand context. Your product, your audience, your current messaging, your goals for the quarter. You set that up once. It lives in the pipeline as a persistent document the agent can always reference. What it outputs is a campaign brief, not a rough idea, an actual brief. Target audience for this campaign, messaging pillars, 3 to 5 content angles, channel strategy, which platforms get what emphasis and why. Now, this is the part that used to kill me, the blank document phase. But honestly, it's been much better now that I have research agents that go out and find topics that are popular or that build on each other. The only way you're going to write a script or get something created is really just to start. And starting is usually the hardest part. Just put something down, put some words on paper, start recording, whatever. This agent eliminates that blank page paralysis. You get a structured brief that tells you exactly what to make and who you're making it for. Agent 2 hands that brief to Agent 3. Now the actual content gets made. Now, this is my favorite one. Agent 3 is the repurposing engine, and it's where the one-to-many magic happens. This is something I learned from Alex Hormozy. The only way that man can generate so much content, now granted he has a fantastic team behind him, is that he's figured out that you don't need to shoot 100 separate short-form videos. If you have long-form stuff, you can chop the most important parts, the parts that resonate with people, and put those out as shorts and clips. Hopefully that drives people who are just scrolling around towards your more important content. Here's how Agent 3 works. You give it one anchor piece, a blog post, a video script, a webinar transcript, one thing. Agent 3 turns that into a LinkedIn carousel with 6 slides and the hook copy, an X thread, an email newsletter section, an Instagram caption with relevant hashtags, a YouTube video description, a Facebook post. That's 6 platform native pieces of content from one anchor. And I want to be specific about the word native, because this is where people go wrong. The most powerful thing you have is your own unique voice and your own unique perspective. Just because you like how someone talked about a topic doesn't mean you should copy and paste what they did, because you're not them. Each output from this agent is written for exactly how that platform actually works. The length, the structure, the tone, the call to action. Same message, totally different execution. Now, Agent 4 is the one that most people skip, and it's a mistake. I'll be honest, I think about SEO, which is search engine optimization, basically zero right now. I know algorithms are really important, and it's something everyone should consider, but currently, I'm just trying to generate as much content as possible. And that's exactly why having an agent for this matters. It thinks about the stuff I don't have the bandwidth for. You've got great content now, but great content that nobody finds is just a tree falling in an empty forest. And I've seen this firsthand. I've got maybe 16 or 17 videos out in my Zero to Hero series right now, and some have 7 views, some have 2. And one I didn't even think would be that interesting has over 1,200. It's a really interesting process to see what lands and how the algorithms push things out there. Agent 4 reviews everything that came out of Agent 3 against a few inputs: your target keyword list, current search intent data, and your current existing SERP positions. It does 3 things. First, it rewrites headlines and meta descriptions to match actual search intent, not just stuff keywords in, but align the framing for what people are actually searching for. Second, it flags internal linking opportunities, existing content on your site that this new piece should link to or from. Third, and this one saves a lot of pain, it identifies keyword cannibalization risks. If you're writing a second article that targets the same keywords as something you already ranked for, you need to know that before you publish, not after you've confused Google for 3 months. Agent 4 doesn't change the voice of the content, it just makes sure that the content is positioned to actually get found. Last one. Agent 5 takes everything that's been researched, briefed, written, repurposed, and optimized, and puts it on a calendar. I'm proud to say that I finally have an actual posting schedule figured out. Monday through Friday, I've got short-form content launching on YouTube. Every Tuesday, a long-form video goes out, whether that's part of this AI workflow series or my Builder series covering projects I'm actually working on. That's also when my Substack letter goes out. Agent 5 does the same thing for you. It maps content to publishing slots based on engagement data, not just generic post at 9 a.m. on Tuesday advice, but data specific to your audience's actual activity patterns. It generates draft posts formatted for whatever scheduling tool you're using. Buffer, Hootsuite, Later, whatever's in your stack. What you get at the end is a queue, fully populated, ready for one final human review before anything goes live. And that's important. The agent prepares the queue. It does not automatically publish unless you tell it to. You still approve everything before it hits your channels. The agent handles the volume work. You stay in control of what actually goes out. Agent 5 is done. The pipeline is complete. Let me run through this whole thing one more time because I want you to actually feel how this actually runs. You set the trigger, the pipeline starts. Agent 1 goes out and pulls competitive intel for the week. Takes maybe 2 minutes. That brief goes to Agent 2, which combines it with your brand content and writes a campaign brief. Another 2 minutes. Agent 2 hands the brief to Agent 3. You feed in your anchor content, or Agent 3 can draft the anchor from the brief. It repurposes everything into 6 platform formats. Maybe 5 minutes. Agent 4 gets the outputs, runs the SEO review, rewrites what needs rewriting. 2 minutes. Agent 5 gets the finished content and builds the publishing calendar and draft queue. 2 more minutes. Total wall clock time, maybe 15 minutes, and you are doing something else the entire time. You come back, you review the queue, which is much faster than building it from scratch. You make your edits, you approve, and that's it. 1 week of content across 6 platforms anchored in competitive intel, optimized for search, and formatted for each channel. 1 person, no teams required. Okay, honest moment. Voice and authenticity. I know I keep harping on this, but AI is great. Even as great as it is, though, it isn't you. If you have it generate everything for you, it's only as good as the data you're giving it. And it's really easy to tell if someone is just reading off of a script that they had no part of. It just doesn't have the soul, and I think that the soul is the most important part. My friend Rich Mulder, who has a great Substack, by the way, which you should go check out, talks a lot about this. The big thing that's missing is the human connection. You can have great content, really cool visuals, all the right marketing strategies, but the soul has to be behind it. And as great as all this AI marketing is, you still need to be able to speak to real humans. Just because you have a marketing campaign that's sending emails doesn't mean you won't have to actually hop on a phone call or a video call and actually interact with people in real life. AI will never replace a human's being ability to shake hands with another human and to be able to tell if that human has integrity. It can't replace honest business practices, and honestly, I think that's great to hear, because that's what's going to keep AI human. The honest version of this pitch isn't replace your marketing team. It's this. One person with this workflow can cover 80% of the volume at 90% of the quality. And that gap used to require 3 to 5 additional salaries. That's the real numbers. Then that's why this matters. If you're a marketing manager watching this and you're feeling overwhelmed, here's what I'd say. You know what's best in your industry. You know what holds up and what takes time out of your day that's just busy work. That busy work is typically something AI can tackle because it's repetitive, and it's something you can't really improve the flow on as a person. Start there. And honestly, it might be as simple as, I have trouble generating ideas. You can use a regular chatbot, ChatGPT, Claude, to help you brainstorm. It can be visuals, outreach, scheduling. Whatever you struggle with in your role, you can probably find some facet you can improve with an AI tool. You don't have to just build the full pipeline on day one. Just start. Thank you for your time. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe and tell me in the comments what part of your workflow honestly kills the most time. Research, content production, the scheduling grind. I want to build towards what's actually painful for you. And next week, we're doing this exact format for a completely different role, customer service. If you've ever wondered how one support person can handle the volume of a full team without burning out, that's the episode for you. I'll see you there.